If you're waiting for the Montana real estate market to crash before you buy, well, this may be the most important video you'll watch all year. Is Montana real estate boom finally over? Well, that's the question we're hearing almost every day, and some people are convinced the market is about to crash. We've done another video on this, but this is a little bit different. Others think prices are going to keep climbing forever, and the truth, as usual, is somewhere in the middle. Today, we're taking a look at one of the largest real estate market areas in Montana. We're covering an area that stretches from the Flathead Valley to Missoula, Helena to Great Falls, Bozeman, Billings, and dozens of smaller communities in between. Now, before we get started, understand something very important. Montana is not one real estate market. Bozeman's not Hot Springs. Billings is not Craig. Whitefish is not Deer Lodge, and Hamilton certainly is not Great Falls. The difference between these communities can be dramatic, but when we step back and look at the bigger picture, we can identify some statewide trends that help us understand where Montana real estate is headed in 2026. And some of those trends might surprise you. Let's see. Well, welcome back to the Montana Real Estate Channel, sponsored by Cyphers Family Real Estate. If you're new here, we cover Montana real estate, Montana communities, Montana neighborhoods, culture and lifestyle, things to do, issues, land ownership, recreation, stream access, relocation information, and market trends across the Treasure State. And before we get started, here's a quick favor. More than 90% of the people watching these videos are not subscribers. So if you enjoy Montana content, please take a second to hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and leave us a comment below. We'd appreciate it. We've built a pretty extensive library of Montana content, including how Yellowstone, the television series, changed Montana real estate, or if it did, Montana stream access law, community spotlights throughout western Montana, relocation information, market updates, and neighborhood analysis. Now, we recently published a detailed first quarter market detail on the markets in Kalispell, Missoula, Helena, Great Falls, and Hamilton. Today's video is broader. We're stepping back and looking at Montana from 30,000 feet. Let's start with the headline.
Western Montana is in a balanced market. In this market area, the months of inventory is 6 months, which is moving toward a buyer's market, but not strongly, and inventory remains relatively tight across western Montana. In many western Montana markets, we're still seeing homes sell very close to asking price at 96.5%, according to the Montana Regional MLS for single-family homes, townhomes, and condos. We're also seeing continued appreciation, although at a much slower and healthier pace than during the pandemic years. So the market is relatively balanced, although prices are 73% higher for the median home in that region over where they were in 2019. What we're seeing is not a collapsing market. What we're seeing is normalization. The insanity is gone. The market remains. And of course, the biggest factor affecting real estate today continues to be mortgage rates.
Buyers today face a completely different environment than buyers did 3 or even 4 years ago. So higher rates have reduced affordability. And here's the interesting part. People still want to move to Montana. How about that? That demand has not disappeared. And many buyers have simply adjusted their expectations. Instead of buying the dream property immediately, they're buying the property that gets them into Montana. And that's a trend we've been repeatedly seeing throughout 2025 and now into 2026. One of the most fascinating things we've observed over the last several years is the continued migration into Montana. Some of those buyers are retirees, a lot of them. Some are remote workers. Some are business owners. Some are outdoor enthusiasts, and yes, we continue to see what many people describe as political refugees from large urban areas in California, Oregon, and Washington. That's not intended to be a political statement. It's just simply an observation. So many people tell us they're just looking for more space, less congestion, lower population density, a stronger sense of community, greater personal freedom, and access to the outdoors. So Montana checks a lot of those boxes for sure. So whether someone ends up in Whitefish, Hamilton, Helena, Great Falls, Bozeman, Billings, or one of the many smaller communities throughout the state, Montana continues to attract people looking for a different lifestyle. Now let's talk about something that often gets overlooked. Montana is incredibly diverse economically. If you're looking at Bozeman, you're looking at a market influenced by technology, higher education, tourism, and a significant out-of-state wealth. If you're looking at Billings, you're looking at Montana's largest city and a major medical, energy, and commercial center. If you're looking at Great Falls, you're seeing a market heavily influenced by Malmstrom Air Force Base and regional commerce. And if you're looking at Hamilton, you're seeing the continued influence of the Flathead Valley lifestyle and quality of life. And of course, we do have a fair number of government workers because we have the Forest Service, you have Rocky Mountain Lab, which is a major employer here. And if you're looking at smaller communities like I mentioned Craig earlier, over there by Great Falls on the Missouri, or Hot Springs, Phillipsburg, Lincoln, Choteau, or Deer Lodge, completely different factors come into play. So that's why broad statewide numbers are useful for identifying trends, but local data is essential before making a buying or selling decision. And each community can be very different. One of the biggest stories in Montana right now is inventory. We're seeing more listings than we've had during the frenzy years, and that's good because buyers have more choices. Sellers face a little more competition, but we're still nowhere near the oversupply levels that would have typically led to a dramatic price decline. In many areas, well-priced homes continue to move quickly. Properties that are properly marketed and realistically priced are attracting buyers. And homes that struggle are often the ones priced for the market 2 years ago instead of today's market. We'd love to be able to help you. We'd like to be a resource for you. All the information in order to get a hold of us is in the description below. And don't misunderstand me, even though I've been at this almost 40 years, we can overshoot the runway on pricing as well. As a seller, you just have to take a look at those situations and be willing to make price adjustments. And those decisions need to be made really at the time that you list the property. If you're considering a move to Montana, don't try to time the market perfectly. Nobody can. Instead, focus on finding the right community, finding the right property, making sure the monthly payment works for your budget, and understanding the local market you're entering. For sellers, this remains a favorable environment, but pricing strategy matters more than it did a few years ago for sure. And the days of putting almost anything on the market and receiving multiple offers in a weekend are largely behind us. Today's buyers are more informed, more selective, and more value conscious. Proper pricing and professional marketing are critical. So what's the bottom line? Well, Montana real estate market remains strong. It's healthier, more balanced, more predictable than it was during the pandemic boom. The demand for Montana continues. The lifestyle continues to attract buyers. And while every community is different, the overall trend by the numbers remains remarkably resilient. And I know there are some people out there saying, oh, it's too high, it's no, well, the locals can't buy, and on and on and on. And the fact is you can do all the belly aching you want. It ain't going to change it. And right now, based on the numbers, we're not seeing anything falling out that's crashing to earth. So if you'd like information on a specific Montana community, neighborhood, school district, acreage, market, waterfront market, or investment property, we'd be happy to help. Just reach out to us. All the contact information is below. And tell us in the comments, where in Montana are you interested in? What community would you like us to cover next? What questions do you have about moving to Montana? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future Montana market updates. I'm Craig Cyphers with the Montana Real Estate Channel, brought to you by Cyphers Family Real Estate. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next Montana Real Estate Channel update.